Hi guys, I am back with another what I would consider a very insightful, profound discovery having to do with the relationship between the sky and the earth, metaphysical stuff. In this video, I'm going to be linking the wave-particle duality, love and wisdom understanding to the sky, the earth, and how electrostatics reflects it, and also how healing works in the body, and also how you can align yourself with the flow of the universe and manifest abundance. So the first thing to understand is the metaphysical and the physical are polar opposites. Science explains the physical, philosophy explains the metaphysical. If you haven't checked out my video about the wave particle duality and how it equals love and wisdom, you need to go check that out before you come to this video, because you're going to need to know everything. Before I get started, we need to understand that the physical world is for us to observe and to create philosophies about. So the physical world observed, the sky is observed as freedom and unconditional love. So throughout this video, I'm going to be saying unconditional love, but it is important to know that unconditional love, free will, and infinite potential energy are all one. It is interchangeable. You cannot have unconditional love without free will. You cannot have free will without infinite potential energy. They are interchangeable. You cannot have one without the other. So, the sky is observed as just this. It is observed as freedom and unconditional love. Metaphysically, whenever we think about what it does and the processes that it's involved in, we can characterize it as the masculine, as assertive, logical. These metaphysical concepts of masculine and feminine also have two polarities, a positive and a negative. Outward assertion, inward assertion, outward unconditional love, inward unconditional love. Remember, unconditional love is infinite potential energy. They're interchangeable. But metaphysically, it's the opposite, because the metaphysical is the opposite of the physical. While the physical, it appears to be unconditional love and free-flowing, it is actually assertive and logical, which assertive is the opposite of unconditional love, because when you assert on something, you're not respecting its free will. And obviously, free will, infinite energy, all interchangeable. So you're not respecting the infinite energy. That's better. We'll just say that. We're not respecting the infinite energy. The earth, physically, we observe it as dense and heavy. Everything is attracted to it for whatever reason. We can metaphysically describe it as is the feminine. It is nurturing. It is love. It is the physical manifestation of infinite potential energy. So metaphysically, we describe the concepts of it. It would be outward unconditional love and inward unconditional love. So, because the earth is obviously the cause of this infinite energy being manipulated, in electrostatics, it exhibits a negatively, physically observed polarity. Now, negative in metaphysics means inward. Negative means inward. So, the earth exhibits these behaviors. It pulls everything. It wants to absorb everything. It absorbs the inflammation out of your body. Like, it is negative. It is inward. Whereas the sky, being positive, it is physically. This is the physical interpretation. Is positive. The physical description. It is the physical representation of what it looks like when free will is running rampant. So that's why it is positive. And positive is outward. Outward, obviously, because the sun and the moon shine on everybody. They don't care who you are. That being said, now we're just going to get into straight into the philosophy. When we have feelings of guilt, which is a physical expression that is heavy, and we consider it to be negative, and we meet them with the physical expression of the positive polarity, which is unconditional love, which is infinite energy, we create a bolt of energy that clears these feelings. This is exactly like a lightning bolt in real life. Whenever you see a lightning bolt, obviously science says it's the positive polarity and the negative polarity meeting up, and it creates this visual effect. But philosophically and metaphysically, we describe this as the earth and the sky balancing itself. It is balancing itself. So whenever you do this action, whenever you meet a feeling with unconditional love, you are balancing yourself just like the earth and the sky do. So metaphysically, or rather our intention, is how we affect physical reality, as they are one. So metaphysical and physical are polar opposites, because you can measure the physical, but you cannot measure the metaphysical. Where a physical is facts and philosophy is agreed upon. So that being said, if the metaphysical and the physical are opposites, whenever you try to put two positive poles of a magnet together or two negative poles of a negative together, they repel each other. But metaphysically, it's the opposite. Whenever you choose an outward assertion of energy that is grounded in an outward unconditional love, so you're nurturing somebody else or some other entity, you're not creating a disruption like the magnets. You are, in fact, aligning and creating harmony. You are aligning with the aspect of creation itself, seen at the wave-particle duality level of infinite unconditional love and masculine structured energy. So what does this mean? Combining outward assertion with outward love doesn't repel and cause disruption. It creates alignment with creation and the fundamental wave-particle duality, which is unlimited potential and logical outcomes. When you choose to serve others out of love, the universe responds accordingly. You align yourself with with something that makes sense and also a part of infinite potential. This is how you manifest abundance right here. So I hope that made sense. It was huge. Y'all let me know what you think about that.